Hey, so I've been meaning to jump on for a hot minute here. I do live in Minneapolis and it's been a little bit on the intense side lately, so I have not made time to come on to talk to you guys about a Slavic tradition during this time of year. It's usually the 7th through the 19th of January. That is in Russia and other Slavic countries, Christmastide, and it's called Svyatki. So, what is it? So, this is a time of year that people believe that the dead and dark shadow deities walk amongst commoners, right? Because the saints and the angels are busy in heaven celebrating the birth of Jesus, and they're just too happy to come down and punish anybody. So that's what's going on. And so Slavic individuals take advantage of that by breaking up this period of Christmastide. You have the light period, which is the 7th through the 13th, and the dark period, which is the 14th through the 19th. So during the light period, which now has ended, I apologize that I'm giving this information to you a little bit late, but it's light magic. It's candle magic using snow and dripping candle wax into the snow, melting down these shapes that they use to tell fortunes with. It is psalm magic, angel and saint petitions, very light magic. Some of the symbols during this festival, like rings usually mean money, circles can mean money as well, or weddings or good relationships. Crosses usually mean hardship. Bowls of water usually mean sorrow of some sort, maybe a loss or a death. Excuse me. Dots usually mean abundance. Lines usually mean travel, like going on a vacay. Rectangles usually mean an improvement in your living situation, like maybe you're buying a house that year. So those are some of the key symbols that they use during this festival. And then the other thing they do that I think is a lot of fun is it's called rooster divination. Now, you don't have to use a rooster. You can use any animal that cooperates, but they basically make a huge circle that they stand in the middle of. And in this circle, they use objects that they associate to certain outcomes. So like coins for money, rings for weddings, that bowl of water for sorrow, toys if somebody's going to have a baby, things like that. And they stand in the middle blindfolded. They turn 3 times around with their rooster, and then they let the rooster go. And whatever the rooster goes to first, that is that person's fortune for the year. Like that is what is going to happen to them that year. Again, you can use any animal. It doesn't have to be a rooster. But I just think that's a lot of fun. Now, the second part of Svyatki, there we go. The 14th to the 19th is the dark part of Christmastide. This is where people divinate in dark rooms with mirrors, candles. They divinate in places called banyas, which are bathhouses, or barns, because barns are considered like a dark liminal space in Slavic countries. And those divinations are with spirits that are transient or shadow elemental deities. So very interesting. They play a lot of pranks on each other during this second part, this dark part of Christmastide. Other things that they do. Oh, no jewelry, no belts. You're not supposed to wear any jewelry or belts during this period. Those are considered protective amulets. And so you're supposed to remove that so you can divinate properly. A lot of scrying, and scrying in the Slavic community is sitting in front of a mirror, usually by candlelight, and staring in it for as long as you need to until you start having a vision of some sort. And then there's called the silent sleep, which I find very interesting. It's very similar to St. Anthony practices here in the United States, those that are Christian practitioners. But the silent sleep, basically, you got to, again, make sure no jewelry, no belts. You set a petition, that you want to divinate in your dream. You want an answer to something. Are you getting married that year? Are you going to have a baby? Are you buying a house? And a shadow elemental is supposed to visit your dream and give you the answer. So, in a nutshell, you guys, that is Christmastide in Slavic practices, especially in Russia. It is called Svyatki, depending on your practice. And I thought I would just share it with you. We are in the dark part, the 14th through 19th, so we have a few more days here. So if you want to do some scrying, you want to do some bathhouse or barn divination with some mirrors, some candles in the dark, make sure you take all that jewelry off and don't be wearing any belts or they're not going to help you. Silent sleep, too. You can still try the silent sleep. Stay magical.